Jeepney modernization? I'm nay, because if pushed through, jeepney modernization can affect greatly our lives, especially yours as a common Filipino commuter. How? First, if you're paying 9 pesos as a base or normal fare in jeepney modernization, there is a high chances that it will be doubled. Meaning, kung DLSUD student ka at pupunta kang Antlers or UMC, kung dati nagbabayad ka na 8 pesos with student discount in jeepney modernization, magiging 16 pesos ito. Sayang naman yung 8 pesos na binabayad mo, di ba? Imbes na ipunin mo na lang 8 pesos na yon, pwede mo siyang pang-milk tea, right? And then second, imagine Philippines without our world-renowned jeepneys. Hello guys! Jeepneys, our jeepneys are conversational piece kaya, lalong-lalo na sa mga foreigners. And in jeepney modernization, magbabayad ang ating mga kuya choperes, ang ating mga manong drivers ng 2 million which they cannot afford. Losing our traditional jeepneys or our cultural jeepneys means losing our own culture.
The removal of the Filipino subjects in college curriculum, it's an A for me. Because the Filipino subject and the English subjects are just as equally important in the college level of learning. Even though we have learned the Filipino subjects in our elementary school level, it does not necessarily mean that we have already mastered our own language. Because even us, college students, or Filipinos themselves, are not proficient enough in our own language, which is the Filipino language. And it is considered as a disgraceful trait, a disgraceful act that we are not able to master our own language. And then how can you expect that we are able to master the other countries' languages? And through the learning of the Filipino subjects, such as Panitikan and any other Filipino-related subjects in the college, it helps us promote and learn about the cultural heritage, national identity, and the history of our own Filipino people. And through this, we are able to not just learn about it, and we are also able to apply it and embody it in our own respective fields and our own career paths and other career associated field of knowledge. And through this, we are able to transcend it even into our younger generations. And I don't agree with the removal of the Filipino subjects from the college curriculum.
Same-sex marriage is very timely and relevant issue in our country. But for me, this issue is a nay. Itong issue na to, pwedeng makonect siya sa latitude of rejection ng social judgment theory. Ang marriage kasi sa atin is defined as a legal and spiritual union between two individuals, a man and a woman. So, ako, in my opinion, I respect all people. I mean, from all, kasama dyan yung LGBTQ family. And also, pwede naman kasing mag-adopt ang same-sex marriage couples. But, ito yung mga pwedeng mangyari sa mga children na i-adopt nila. Yung mga children na yon, may mga consequences na pwedeng makaharap. Una dyan, bullying. Bullying, mabubuli sila sa schools nila kasi isasabihin bakit parehas yung nanay nila, parehas tatay nila, ganon. Parehas nanay, parehas tatay, parehas babae, parehas lalaki. And ang mga bata matanong. Pagtatanong yan as soon as they want to. And syempre, mabilis ma-confuse yung mga bata eh. Ma-confuse sila bakit parehas nanay meron sila. Bakit parehas tatay meron sila. And syempre, bata sila, mahirap mag-sink in sa kanila kung ano talaga yung nangyayari. So, maghahanap yan ng mother image, father image, kasi gusto rin nila ng balance and normal childhood. And for me, wala naman akong against sa mga LGBT people na magkarelasyon, boyfriend-girlfriend sila, ganyan. As long as they love one another, it's fine for me. They stay in this relationship, it's fine for me. I support them, I respect them. Pero yung tipong magpapakasal sila, I am not supporting those kinds of thing. Kasi
the no garage, no car policy, it's a for me. I think this is a policy that should strictly be implemented here in the Philippines, and it is a solution that we are in dire of need of. And it helps prevent one of the biggest crises that we are facing here in the Philippines, and that is traffic. Traffic is a hindrance when it comes to people who are commuting to work or going to school, or people who are just traveling in general. And it can be very inconvenient to them because commuting is money out of their pocket, and that leads to people purchasing their own cars. And this leads to other issues such as illegal parking. The no garage, no car policy states that every owner should have issued affidavit that indicates that they have a parking space for their cars, and it is a very reasonable solution because not all people who own cars are responsible enough for their property. And through this policy, it is a way of promoting the discipline and road manners that people should possess when it comes to these properties. Me and my family own vehicles, so I get how frustrating the situations can be because we live in a subdivision that has homeowners who buy cars, and this grows yearly, and it becomes a hindrance when it comes to parking spaces. So I think this is a very reasonable solution that we should be pushing through.
In view of the rising of measles cases in the country, Department of Health or DOH proposed a plan which is no vaccination, no enrollment policy in public schools. A week after the measles outbreak, DOH declared that several regions in our country has recorded over 8,000 cases, and it all started on the first month of this year, and there is a continuous climb in the number of deaths. Measles or tigdas in Tagalog is a vaccine preventable disease, and it is a viral, highly contagious disease, respiratory disease that may cause complications such as pneumonia and diarrhea, and the worst case scenario, it can cause death if it is left untreated. According to the World Health Organization, it is normally passed through direct contact with someone who is infected or who have the virus, and it can be passed through air. But we can actually prevent it. But with the recent controversy of the vaccine or the dengue vaccine, parents now fear getting vaccines for their children. Actually, for me, they actually have to take advantage of these free government health programs that includes vaccinations that might prevent the diseases such as measles, and this mandatory basic immunization is given free to any government hospital or health center for children up to 5 years old. This no vaccination and no enrollment policy is the response to these measles outbreaks. And now we are moving on to the herd immunity. Herd immunity is very important, and listen to this. It is simply to put, when the disease cannot infect enough hosts to be able to establish a foothold, it will eventually be eliminated. According to Rappler, protecting the vulnerable is not a simply matter of individual health, but one of the public health. Protecting ourselves is not just for ourselves, parang ganon. It is, by protecting ourselves, we protect the people, we protect the public. Simply to put this situation, the more people who agrees to receive this vaccination, they get to be immunized against a certain disease, and that the effect is that there's a less chance that there will be an outbreak. Simple, diba? And that is what a herd immunity is. the disease cannot widely spread because yung mga tao, the population is highly immunized, and this other population won't be infected anymore because hindi nakakalat yung infection if the more people gets to be vaccinated. And herd immunity is really, really important for the vulnerable people. These vulnerable people I'm talking about is the people who cannot receive vaccination due to several allergies or compromised immune system. Sila yung mga taong hindi pwedeng makakuha ng vaccination at mas vulnerable to get infection kasi nga may mga health system, immune system silang problema. And if this disease cannot go near them, or because of a highly vaccinated population, if this disease cannot go like this, the vulnerable people, if the disease cannot go near them because itong population na to, highly vaccinated na sila, protected siya. This person is protected. These vulnerable people are protected to get this infection. And so, the no vaccination, no enrollment policy is a really one step closer to eliminate such disease or infection disease. And to think children who are very prone to such disease, who are unvaccinated, is a really, really big threat to herd immunity in school communities. These children, sila yung madalas nagkakaroon ng tigdas, at kung hindi sila vaccinated, kung they are unprotected of the vaccination and they go to a school community, then isa silang threat, big threat to this school community, which endangers people. They endanger this community who are very, very, very vulnerable to get infection. Through no fault of their own, these people get to be infected through no fault of their own. And now, makita natin, it is a very good reason to refuse these unvaccinated children to enter the school community or the school premises. Kaya, I am a very, very pro for no vaccination and no enrollment policy. It is highly just trying to protect the people who are very vulnerable in getting this infection, and so that the outbreak will be gone. And now we are going to the social judgment theory. And according to social judgment theory, ito si Protagoras, a Greek sophist, or a traveling teacher, says that a man is the measure of all things. Na there are two people can have the different reactions to a same topic, and this policy, in connection to this policy, the social judgment or involvement theory explains how people have different reactions to the same message, and the most preferred position of the people, or the people involved, or the anchor point of the parents, is that they don't want to get or be involved of this no vaccination, no enrollment policy kasi nga natakot na sila dun sa situation and back siya. And to think na the more people na magiging educated, na this no vaccination, no enrollment policy is a really big solution to this outbreak, pwede natin silang ma-persuade. We can persuade these parents to actually accept that the no vaccination, no enrollment policy is a must in all schools, in not just public schools, but also in private schools, I think. And I think the more we persuade them, the further they get to, the more we persuade these people, the parents, the further the message position is away from their anchor point. Pwede natin silang persuade into more that they have to accept that their children must receive vaccination before entering their school premises. Kasi parang domino effect lang din yan. If a kid got the vaccination, he or she is now protected. And if this community get all the vaccination, they are all protected, and the whole community is protected.